Good day. This afternoon, my presentation is centered on failure of some women to care for their husband at old age and radiant health. That is, how does failure of some women in Africa had affected their husband during their husband old age. This statement is long, but it's a very common statement that every mature Africa should understand as I'm talking this afternoon. It is very common these days to see many of Africa husbands and fathers when they are old to be left uncared for. Of recent, about 3 of us set out to some villages in Nigeria, Gambia, and Sierra Leone for some findings on health issues. We were able to see so many fairly old people, about 65 years to 80 years old, alone in some huts, buildings in some cities and towns. And when we carried out some verbal interview, we were told that many of these men had spent their good life with some women and they had children. But some of these children are married and settled with their different wives and husbands. And maybe one or two of these children, their wives or that is, the children of these old people that are abroad or that are now living in some other countries within our continent had babies, and their mothers are out of the African countries to abroad or to some nearby countries within Africa to help their female or male child that just delivered new babies, to care for the babies, and the husbands are left alone. Most of these husbands during this our findings looked uncared for, and some of them look pale and as if they are not well fed. This is bad. We should try as women in Africa and stop this idea that I do not see as a very good idea in our continent. What we always hear from people when we get engaged as women to our husbands is always for better, for worse, and they always quickly add until death do us part. It's always good to be happy as a woman when our children are giving birth. We are always so happy to have grandchildren, but we should not use this to punish our husband, the father of our own children, because our God, our creator, do not even love this idea. And that's why it's always quickly hard during wedding in our churches and mosques that until death do us part, we should not leave our husband, or husband should not leave their wives. So, in some culture in Africa, this is not always like what I have explained. There are some people, even in my country, Nigeria, that do not believe in this culture. If a girl child that just married have newborn child, in that culture they will ask the lady to bring the child to the mother and the father if she wants them to give helping hands. Not the mom of that girl that just married and gave birth will go to the lady or the lady's home, but the lady will bring the child, the newborn child or children, if they are two or three, to her mom in her father's house for caring for maybe about 3 to 6 months before the girl or the mother of the newborn baby will now go back to her young husband. This is better. I buy this idea because as the grandma is caring for the newborn child, I mean the grandson or granddaughter, she will be caring also for her old husband. Not that the husband will be neglected, that the old man will be suffering because her because his daughter or his son just gave birth to a newborn baby. This affects the old people, the old men health. It affects the old men health when the wife just leave him alone for so many months to care for their grandchildren elsewhere. The health of such men is not always alright. We know that most African men do not how to cook. They do not know how to cook. There are few men these days that always try to know how to cook compared with all our fathers in the past. So please, we should look at what to do. Maybe your own family can arrange, if such a thing is happening, and arrange how to look for a house maid or somebody from the family to come around the home and care for the old man, so that until the period that the mother of the house, the grandma, will be back from where she has gone to help her daughter or son that just gave birth. Thanks so much. Let's look at this discussion privately in our different homes and discuss it where there is need to correct some mistakes of the past, there is still time for things to be amended. When we are still alive, we should try and correct these mistakes. In our society, Africa Health and Counseling Association, we see this as a big mistake that every African should correct in our homes, so that we have our old men to care for when they are old, and they should not be neglected because their son or daughter just married and have babies. Good day. Thank you so much.